Hello, good morning or good afternoon. Just do a couple of things. Can you hear me? Is the first always question. All right. Hello, hello. Welcome. So good to see some or names, familiar faces, feel you here. And yeah, as always, we're going to give a couple minutes for folks to drop in. I do wish it could be more interactive. I could see you more like on Zoom. For those joining in, welcome, welcome. Okay, I just have to do a quick message to get. All right. So today, so sorry about that. Okay, turning that off. Today is a really important topic, and I know I probably say this every week and probably will. But it goes back to the foundations of how we experience our lives and how we experience the external world, and then how we experience the internal world, which then informs the external world. So, for those who have been with me for a while, some of this will be repeat. And for those who are new, it's such an important practice to really enliven yourself and really empower yourself to have agency and have agency over your response to the world. And for those who have been doing some of these practices for a while, we're going to get into some more of the nuanced ways that you can engage with your energy body to make those shifts, like in present time, when things have become activated or if there's contraction, and really how we can just sit in the seat of our own sovereignty and agency. And the word sovereignty means to be independent from, and that doesn't mean to be independent that we're all our own islands, but when we can be independent from the enmeshment of others, the enmeshment of even our past selves, then we will be able to bring forth a wholeness and a way that we can be in better service and be able to stay present with the intensities that is life. And this portal, this time period I speak of often, this age of prophecy that we're in right now. And so many cultures from all over the world have talked about this time period from about the more intense part is 2024 to 2027. But there has been from about 2022, we experienced the first part of really life as we know it changing in 2020 with the pandemic. And, the collective purification points are happening more and more. The atrocities and the amount of dissonance that can happen. A good example of, here we are on Zoom from all over the world, and we all are feeling what's going on in the world and within Gaza in a different way, and how we can relate and work with our energy to be more present to how we feel. That's one thing I've noticed so much is, what is the collective dissonance, or when we go into that cognitive disassociation. And, it's really started with the pandemic as a collective in terms of the fear of not knowing what was happening next. And as things kind of keep ramping up, and the shadow, the purification of the shadow that's on this planet, and the different forces that really are a battle of where are we going to sit in our consciousness, and are we going to let the shadow aspects of humanity and the powers that are influencing a lot of folks right now um, take root, or are we going to be able to sit in this the place of sovereignty in our heart and agency and change? And that really can mean how we hold joy in our hearts and how we have presence with love. And I know it's a hot topic. I'm not going to go into any sort of political anything. However, no matter what is happening, um, in a way that activates grief collectively, it ripple effects throughout our entire um, being. And especially most of you that join are women, and the way that we process emotion and process grief. And when life is really full, it can feel hard to really stay present with the emotions that come up. So these practices, I call it energetic hygiene because it's really, that's what it is. It's like when you don't brush your teeth, if you go like a week without brushing your teeth, there's film that gets on the right. And it's just like, ew, gross. It's like, blah, 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 you want to brush your teeth. And, to feel in present time, to feel fresh with it. And so these practices really are about that, is energetically working with your chakra system, but not just with your chakra system, with the way that your energetic body and the layers of the field can get into present time. And as I mentioned in my email, so much of the questions that come from when I'm on one-on-one with folks is really can be boiled down to, how do I feel more of myself? And let that grow and blossom and flower and into my soul purpose and into my dharmic path. And so as you are able to ground into the earth, and really not from like a higher mental place, but from a felt sense that changes the etheric field, that changes the quantum field of energy. We can, like right now, we could all practice visualizing an apple. It's like, okay, there's the visualization. You're using your higher mental faculty to visualize an apple. And we can visualize a grounding cord going into the earth. We can visualize that feeling of going into Pachamama. But it's a very different lived experience that will shift your reality, because it shifts your field to the point where then you're on a different frequency. So it opens up doorways to synchronicities, to changing that timeline. And if you practice it regularly, like brushing your teeth, right, it's like you're refining those pathways to slowly, sometimes big shifts, but slowly shift that timeline to where you were, the trajectory of where you were with just your samskaras, your past karmas, the cause and effect of your mental, emotional, spiritual bodies, the ancestral lines. It's like we all come in with this package. And if we don't work at increasing our self-awareness and growth, then that package, like, you're going to have life. Like, life's going to happen. You'll have ups and downs, and it's like you go along your way, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, if we start to really engage with our energy and our spirit in a way that then slowly shifts these timelines to make different choices, not from the mind, but just your frequency shifts. And then all of a sudden, you're having a whole different life than that initial seed, that blueprint when you came into this earth and this world and this body. You had a blueprint, and you had the shadows, and you have the gifts. And as you make those shifts to really create energetic sovereignty, to clear the samskaras, clear out that which is the old self, the more that you are increasing your awareness and your possibility for a different timeline. And so often, especially at this time right now, is there's that reincarnation within the same body. So in our grandparents and our great parents' age, things were a lot slower, right? So you might have like one or two big spiritual awakenings in your life, if you're lucky. And the amount of growth that happened was slow. And so it's really interesting and a process for our body, our physical form, to learn how to keep up with these upgrades, keep up with the death, rebirth, death, rebirth, like that we are in when we are on this path. And if you're walking that path of the priestess and you're walking that path of awakening and the medicine woman, then, it's like, as all of you know, listening to this, whether now or on the replay, it's like you're constantly in that cycle, death, rebirth. And so how to allow the body to catch up to your soul's reincarnation within the same form. It's quite radical. It sounds might sound a little hokey or just like, okay, death and rebirth. But if we really break it down on an energetic soul evolution, we used to have to leave this form, like drop the body, die, transition. Okay, get our life review. Like, okay, that didn't work. Okay, okay, better decisions this time. Okay, evolution, coming back into form. And then we're going to work out, you come back in with a different set of um, energetic blueprint, whether that's from the lens of astrology, human design. I mean, there's like every blueprint we could look at, where you are born in the world, what's your family karma, like all the things. And so now we really are getting an opportunity to have that soul evolution and reincarnation within this one lifetime, if we so choose. Clearly, not everybody is on that path. However, those that I attract and that we sit at the sacred fire together, whether that's here or on ceremonies, in person, online, one-on-ones. It's like, this is where we're at. If you're here, like, this is the path. And so one thing that I've noticed recently more and more is that need to be able to support the physical form in the etheric, if that makes sense, the etheric form relational to the physical, to allow for those evolutions, to allow for those awakenings to be able to root into the body without the initiations that we sometimes do need to go through in the body where there's like upheaval. But the more we practice our energetic hygiene, and the more we get used to, it's just like what we do, the more easeful that these awakenings will be in the physical form. Does that make sense? So for today, we are going to um, go into some foundational practices and refine them a little bit if you have been practicing them for a while. And we're going to focus on two things. It's going to be the grounding cord and then the soul retrieval aspect of it. It's different than a full shamanic visionary soul retrieval. It's very powerful, and it's really like you don't have to go into a story to be able to really summon yourself to yourself. And again, these are foundational practices. These are the basis for anything that I ever offer. And that is because the more that we can let go of our extra density, our hucha, our what doesn't serve us is not in present time, the more that we can enliven ourselves with our own soul essence, that really will inform all the other practices and the more advanced um, energy management tools that we go into. So let's see what else is coming up. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. All right, love. So as always, we're going to get comfy. Find your seat. Let's just begin by taking some deep breaths. into the rhythm of the inhale and the exhale. And let's take our time today to really just arrive. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Feeling the weight of your body in the chair. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders. And just notice that part that gets antsy or wants to hurry on to the next moment. Just letting that part of self be there as you deepen into your breath down into the belly. And expanding the rib cage. Lifting ever so slightly the crown up to the heavens. Feeling the space around your body. The temperature of the air of the room. Saying hello to Pachamama, Mother Gaia, sacred earth beneath you. Gaia Sophia, living being that holds our lives, that witnesses us from the moment we take our first breath to the moment we drop this form. And perhaps today you get a sense of some of your guides, teachers, the illuminated ones around you. Tuning into your root chakra at the base of the spine. The Muladhara, this place, this will to be present, to be here, to come into this reality. Just notice what you notice. How is your root center today? Does it feel nice and vibrant? You need to spend a few breaths here just saying hello, allowing the vitality, asking for balance. Allowing the vitality to flow. And from this place, right in the base of the spine, tuning into that taproot that goes all the way down into the center of the earth, the grounding cord. And today we're going to notice, how wide is your grounding cord? Does it feel like a dental floss? And again, we sense the subtle realms, of course, differently. So you might visualize, you might feel, you might just know. You might hear sound, just trusting what comes. And if nothing comes, just asking if there was something that would reveal itself, what would it be? Somehow that can trick the mind. So if you could know right now the width of your grounding cord, what would it be? And before we start working with this tool, if it is smaller than what would be ideal, taking a moment just to have compassion for yourself, that wow, here you are, this incredible being, doing so much, holding so much for yourself, for your family, with this small grounding cord. Like, just taking a moment to acknowledge what you already do. Without the full support of what you could do. So just having some compassion for that self. So if you have felt exhausted or tired, or sometimes like it's too much, I'm just going to send love to that self. That grounding cord to be as wide as your hips. So feeling in back to the base center, feeling the energy expand out as wide as your hips. And we're going to go slow today to really get the energy moving, to shift the vibrational field. Feeling that energy. Slowly, with the strength of a capable, wide, fortified connection to Pachamama. The center, the core of the earth. Feeling her receive you. And as your grounding cord links into the core of the earth, we're going to set it at release. So again, if your consciousness wants to get ahead of you, just sink right back into your breath, to that central column. energy that's not in present time. To go start composting down your grounding cord, offering to the core of the earth, lighting up the fire in the belly of Gaia Sophia. Letting energy come down from different parts of your body. You might feel sensation, you might burp or yawn. Energy moving up. Going to be working with the collective field, so you might hear bizarre noises on this. Letting some energy come down from the solar plexus, the digestion, in the front of the field, the third eye. Letting some conversations with coworkers go down the grounding cord. I'm just going to name some things I see in the field. The energy of perfection. Where does the energy of perfection light up in your body and your chakras, allowing that just to slide on down, composting. Energy that's stuck in the corner of the liver. So as things are named, they light up already just by awareness, start to transform and alchemize, going all the way down that grounding cord as wide as your hips. And check into your grounding cord and notice if it goes back to its pattern of being smaller. If so, just ask it to come right back wide. It can be a practice. Energy from the back of the heart, some grief in the lungs. We're just going to acknowledge that energy as it starts to move. Few more breaths. Getting curious, you are the laboratory in which you can see if this worked or not. So tuning into the area around your body, your aura, your field. Notice what you notice. What, if anything, feels different from having a grounding cord that is as wide as your hips. let that grounding cord go. So, kind of like the old school or how the vacuums are, you press the button and the cord goes into the vacuum. We're just going to create a new grounding cord. So, you can cut the grounding cord, allowing it to go all compost into the center of the earth, turning back into your base chakra. And then create a new grounding cord. And notice if it's easier just to immediately, boom, have a wide as the hips, capable. You can, if you want to create a color, maybe there's a particular frequency, right? So what's color? Color's frequency. There might be a color that frequency wants to be a part of your experience. And then returning to the breath. The inhalations and the exhalations and the prana that comes into the body from the top of the head as we inhale, the prana coming in to form, and as we exhale, the prana leaving. Exhale, energy rises up the central column, out the top of the head. Beautiful. And now we're going to bring our awareness to the top of the head, the crown center. Notice what you notice with our attention, the crown starts to unfurl and open, receiving more of that divine light, that divine connection. And moving up into the soul light, the 8th chakra. How is your 8th chakra doing today? A foot above the head, the Ba in Egyptian alchemy. I'm going to visualize a mini you, almost like if you were a gingerbread man. Mini you right in the center of this soul light. You're going to summon yourself to yourself, calling back all your energy, building this energy up with the golden light of your own essence. So feel yourself coming back from computer work, from dream time, caretaking others, from worry, specifically worry about the future. Feeling this golden light above your head get bigger and bigger. And once you feel it's as big as a beach ball or even bigger, you can allow that energy to come wash over you. You can almost even reach up and grab it as if you were in like a Tai Chi class, that ball of prana, this ball of energy above your head, coming down. Washing your field, your body, the top of your head, your brain, the area around your body, your whole aura, your whole field coming in. We're allowing that golden light to come in and fill those spots that just got cleared. Really take your time here, filling the space, cleansing. Filling your back body, the back of the throat, the back of the heart. Going all the way down into your toes. We're going to do that 2 more times. So moving your awareness up to your 8th chakra. Stating either out loud or mentally, I, in your full name. Summon myself to myself through all timelines, all realities, all dimensions, all lifetimes. Above you to wash over you and within you. Slowing down so you can feel the frequency shift. When you have gone all the way down to your toes and the space around your body has been filled, you're going to go back this last time. We'll go a little bit faster. Feeling going up to the soul light, to the golden sun above your head, a foot above your head, and really feel into, is there a particular situation that you've noticed that really has kept coming up for you about either needing to release or where your energy has been stuck? And just really summoning yourself from, and I would pick a light situation. Don't go for like the most intense one, but something that's been like just up for you. It could even be the computer or technology. Just feeling your energy reclaim, take agency as you command your energy to return into your soul light. It could be a frequency. And then letting the energy come into your body, into your brain, your spinal cord, your whole nervous system. And when you've allowed that to come all the way down your centers, your body to your toes, you can just check in, letting that intention go, seeing how you feel in your grounding cord as wide as your hips. The light around your body, within your body. And before we come to a close, setting an intention for the day of what frequency would you like to just put into the field that you would like to engage with or experience today. Let life be the mirror. It might be grace, miracles, peace, joy. You're going to set your space. And what I mean by that, you're just going to, in your soul light, in your crown, just feeling the frequency. I'll use joy as an example. Setting my crown at joy. Creates a calling card or a magnet in my space. And then I get to let go. See what happens within me and then also around me today. Taking a couple deep breaths. As you bring yourself back to this moment, back to the third dimension. Allowing yourself to take your time, but also note how you may feel differently. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. If you want to share in the the chat. And if you need to stay inward, that's always, of course, you do you. I wanted to jump back in here before we close to speak about a couple things. And if you have any questions or something that came up for you, definitely just drop it in. So these practices are the bedrock, the foundation, the grounding cord, and the golden sun. And this is a process of letting go. So when you are too full of other people's energy, also a frequency. So like for me personally, when I'm off, I run worry. Like that's just the thing I have to work with. Other people, can run doubt. So it doesn't have to be like an actual situation, but I have to really work with it, especially when I'm off. My hormones have shifted and I can really catch myself like running the frequency of worry. So it could be worry about my dogs or worry about, I don't know, X, Y, and Z, worry about work. It's like it doesn't really matter what the subject is, like that's what comes up for me. And, so it's a really good practice for me to just see like where's worry like stuck in my body and do this specifically around that frequency. So, how you can tweak these tools to get more specific. And it's, you're brushing your teeth, but then you go to the dentist and they do like really specific work. This is like a bad analogy, but we'll run with it for right now. And so, what you want to do is take a moment, and we went slow today so you could really feel it, but you can do this in your car. You can do this if you're waiting for an appointment. Just check in, like, how is your grounding cord when you're out in the world? Does it go into a smaller connection to the earth? Check in. Okay, I'm going to make it wide as my hips. Here we go, and just have it on autopilot. We need to start with the practice of checking in with it regularly to see how it's running. Like, where's your field? Where are you in relationship to feeling the support of the earth, feeling that communication? The second piece is so you're letting go of energy, letting go of thought forms, letting go of situations, relationships that, your energy could have an intense conversation with a friend or your spouse and it still be like running, those times where we're just like ruminating. When you're in the loop, energetically from like if we take away story, that those energy thought forms are running your system. So this is a really great practice just to stop and the to be able to stop and like clear it out. So that's the first thing. So you're clearing. So you want to make sure to then summon yourself back. So just like people might be in your space, like you can be like, oh, I need to clear out, my boss, or I need to clear out that energy from my coworker. You are in other people's field. So I love Carolyn's Mace's. I was at a workshop with her a zillion years ago, it feels like. And, her story of even like, okay, for all you people who are taking workshops and stuff to get over someone, just as many people are taking workshops to get over you. And I loved that because, like, oh, right, like whatever that person represents to me that I'm like looping on, I have not since my birth been, totally aligned in integrity. And I was the contract for somebody else, like that rubbed them the wrong way. So same, right? So in the golden sun's practice, same thing. You can get really specific. You can, if you know that you are overthinking about a situation, your energy is out, right? Your consciousness, your presence is over there. So you want to go into a golden sun and really take the time to feel your energy, feel the golden sun, and you can grab the energy of the ball of light and just slow this, if this helps, when you're beginning, and really just allow the frequency of your own soul, your own self to come in. Like, okay, it's like, all right, I need to like sit at my third eye more. Okay, I'm coming down. Keep coming. Oh, my heart needs an extra. I'm going to sit allow the energy and you're going to work it through your system. So this is a powerful practice. And also too, when you don't have a particular intention, it's a really insightful. It's like a diagnostic. So if I'm going to go into my soul light, I'm going to summon myself. Oh, I didn't know that energy, and I can, you'll start to feel, these are energy management practice, energetic hygiene. So you'll start to feel, energy coming in from different sides of your field, back of the head, in the front, and situations that, are little, it's not the big things that are is always what either our energy, our consciousness has left the building or we need to let go. Sometimes it can be just very, like if you're in traffic. I was doing this practice this morning and I had been traveling and I was like, oh, oops. Part of me is still like running in the airport. And so it's just like summoning yourself. Again, like if we really got how, again, like I say this because it from the mental place, it's, for 99.9 energy and frequency, we're 1.1% matter, but our lives are lived out so much on the 1% of matter. And so it really is like if we really get that we are just the fluidity of energy, it makes sense that these just different pieces as we just live our lives in this interconnected web of interdependence and um, the matrix, the field. So these practices really are foundational. They're the basis of, I know many of you are here who've taken my courses and been with me. It's, they're foundational and they can be as advanced as you make them. It really is the practice that goes over and over and over that then the advanced tweaking, the refinement will reveal itself and it gets profound. But you can't start with that as much as like the mind might want to. You have to start with like, oh, like a kid learning to brush its teeth. It's like all over the place. And then it's like, oh, okay, I got like my electric toothbrush now. These are such bad. I need to come up with a better, it's such bad analogy, but you get my drift. So practice these. You will really see a shift in your life and in your experience of the world. And yes, I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll come back and read these comments. So Hillary gets carried away of anxiety and doing. Start your day. When I don't start my day slowly and intentionally, I get overwhelmed. It's so true. It's so easy, especially sensitive beings that we are. And when we're really, walking that path of the mystic as energy beings, it's so easy to get. It's just like, I don't know one person who doesn't work with overwhelm, so you're not alone. Oh, Kristen, yay. Hi. Raj, you're so welcome. Miss Sadie. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad. So thank you all for being here. And I will see you next week. And I think there's a couple one-on-one sessions left for June. And I went ahead and opened up my July calendar since they're all, I think there's one or two left for June. So that link can be found on my website on one-on-ones. And yeah, we'd love to hear anybody's experience as you start to really work with this or rework with this if it's been a minute. And as always, if you could pass this along to your friends, if you think it would be helpful, that would be amazing. And I will see y'all next week. All right, lots of love.